Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, True Crime with Jess Rose. Again, another long gap between videos. I'm so sorry. I'm still having to use my 4G to upload videos. Plus, my son's got a YouTube channel, so I'm uploading his. And it's a nightmare at the minute. So I'm literally down to like 2 videos a month, which is crazy, but I promise I'm going to get this fixed and get this sorted and get back on track. But I am back tonight. And the story I'm going to do, it's a really upsetting story. I've seen it on Britain's Darkest Taboos. And it's actually titled, We Witnessed Our Sister's Murder. Really sad. It's about a young girl called Kirsty Treloar. Now, I hope I'm pronouncing the name right. And she was born on the 24th of June 91 in Hackney, East London. She's the third child of 4. There's 3 girls and 1 boy. Really close family. Pam, her mum, when she describes Kirsty, she said she was a really quiet child. She was quite clingy. She was very affectionate. She was just a really sweet but very introverted child right through to teenage years. She was just very quiet and quite focused. She knew what she wanted to do. And when she turned 18, Kirsty goes off to college and she wanted to be a nursery nurse. She loved, I had 2 sisters on the show, her mum and her brother, and they all say, she loved children. She had that real caring nature about her. She had her older brother, her older sister and her younger sister, and she looked out for them all, but especially her younger sister, Jade. There's 4 years between them, and, when they were little, she used to be the one to try and push her in the pushchair or hold her, and she was just this very sweet, caring girl. Now, like I say, she was a studious girl. She knew where she wanted to go. She knew what she wanted in life. But in January 2001, Kirsty meets a lad boy by the name of Miles Williams. Now, Kirsty's 18, he's 18. His nickname or tag name is Smiley. Now, Smiley was actually a gang member in East London, and Smiley had serious anger issues. He was actually excluded from school at 15. I think that was for throwing a chair. He'd had various other suspensions for other bouts of violence. And yeah, because he was basically out on the streets at 15, he turned into kind of a wannabe gangster, and as I'm describing him, very streetwise, very extrovert guy. At 18, already had 2 kids by 2 different girls. Complete polar opposite to Kirsty, look completely different. And Jade, Kirsty's youngest sister, to be honest, doesn't like him from the get-go. He's not. She said he wasn't suited to Kirsty. They were very different, Kirsty and Miles. But to be honest, Kirsty wasn't really that interested in Miles. But Miles, being the narcissist that it said on the show he didn't like that. He didn't like that she was knocking him back and that she wasn't really showing an interest. And eventually she gave him her phone number and he just inundated her with texts, phone calls, just basically pestering her, until she basically gave in and started seeing him. And very quickly, 2 months, Kirsty sits her family down and she's pregnant. Now, like I say, Kirsty loved children and, they all knew she'd make a great mom, but not so soon. She was still only 18 by then, and I think it just came as a shock to everyone. I mean, her mum didn't even really know about Miles. She didn't know a lot about him, and Kirsty kept a lot of it to herself, so no one really took it as serious. So, yeah, she lets them know she's pregnant, and then I think it's quite sweet, really, that she did go to her family and let them know first, and then she went to Miles. He was happy at first, you know, another string to his bow, if you like. But Dr. Kerry Nixon on the show, who, now, Moyles, like I say, was a wannabe gangster. He had 2 children by 2 ex-girlfriends. And it was said that with them girls, he was violent and he did cheat. He wasn't the best boyfriend in the world. So Dr. Kerry Nixon on the show said that if that side of, you know, of a person, like their personality is ever going to come out, it's when their partner's pregnant. I'm not saying it's all males, I'm just saying in this circumstance. And that is when the violence is most likely to start. And basically, Kirsty found out she was having a little girl, and she was so happy about it. Moyles wasn't happy, though, because apparently he could only make boys. Yeah, I said that. Because his other 2 children were boys, he proudly bragged to people. I've got to wonder what these people thought when he was saying to them, I only produce boys. They've got to have been looking like, you prat. Really? You think that? So with Kirsty having, you know, finding out she's having a little girl, of course the accusations start coming, you know, you've cheated on me, it's not mine, you know, the whole shebang. And Gemma, who's Kirsty's older sister, yeah, she said although it was him accusing Kirsty of cheating all the time now, they've only been together a few months. It's just crazy how quickly this whole thing escalates. It was actually him cheating throughout the whole relationship. He was cheating. It turns out that not long after Kirsty gets pregnant, he gets another girl pregnant. You know, she doesn't know at the moment, but, you know, it does come out, and it's just awful. It's just not a very nice guy at all. And Kirsty and Moyles go for a scan, and when they leave in the morning, because he does stay over at the mum's house, she does allow that, but they all say that when he'd stay over, they wouldn't see Kirsty for days. They'd be holed up in the bedroom. And the mum says she used to phone on a mobile in her own home, her daughter, and the phone would get put down. So she'd have to go up to the bedroom, and apparently Moyles would open the door like a little crack and be like, oh, she's poorly. I'm booting that door. You know, sometimes I really have to keep these opinions to myself, but it's like, that's your house, that's your daughter, and someone's telling you, no, you can't come. Really? But that is so, like I say, on this morning, I've gone off on a tangent there. On this morning, Kirsty and Moyles go for the second scan on the baby. She tells her mum she'll see her later, and they, as a family, don't see her for 6 weeks. Basically, Moyles takes Kirsty to his flat that he shares with his mum. This confuses me, that he shares with his mum. Now, that was said on the show, yet no further reference was mentioned of his mum. And basically, for 6 weeks, she was trapped in his bedroom. Obviously, while he was there, he was, you know, he had started hitting her. You know, he wouldn't let her speak to anyone. On the odd occasion, she could speak to her sister who phoned her. It was just a very quick conversation. He'd put the phone down. So they knew where she was, but they could tell she wasn't safe. And when he'd go out, which you would imagine would be a time for her to get away, he'd lock his bedroom door and lock the flat door. Where's his mum? Was she at work? You know, it wasn't elaborated on, so it's left so many questions for me. I don't know about you, it just plays on my mind. It's like you've got this young girl, pregnant girl, locked in your home, and you know, how much power did this boy have that his own mum wouldn't say anything and her mum wouldn't say anything? It's just crazy to me. But after 6 weeks, her mum had enough. And she phoned the police and said, my daughter's missing, and gave his name. She didn't say he was at her flat. She just said, my daughter's missing, and gave his information, and the police turned up. And when they turned up, Kirsty just says, I want to go home. And they brought her home. Now, they said she was, look, the family said she was covered in bruises. She did have bruises, but she didn't tell anyone anything, really. But they could see she was just terrified. She was just a very different person when she come back. Whatever had gone on in that 6 weeks had changed their sister and Pam's daughter, into, she was a quiet girl anyway, but she became even more introvert, and she wouldn't tell them anything. But Gemma, the older sister, like I said, was at uni, and she did receive a Facebook message from Kirsty, just basically saying he's going to end up murdering me. It must have been just when she needed to speak to somebody. And yeah, she just obviously poured that out to her sister. That wasn't really elaborated on the show. Maybe she didn't want to talk about it again. But on the 25th of November, 2 weeks before the baby's due, Miles turns up at their home, the family home, and he drags Kirsty out of the house. Look, drags her out in front of her own family, drags her out into his car, and takes her. Now, obviously, the mum phoned the police. They got Kirsty. He'd done a runner. And so he's basically a wanted man now. And Kirsty goes into labour. And on December the 6th, 2011, she has this beautiful baby little girl. Little baby girl, sorry. And yeah, Miles actually has the audacity to turn up to the hospital. I can't imagine it was come and see his daughter. I could be wrong. I don't think so, though. He doesn't strike me as the, that soft toy. But he turns up and he's arrested and charged on the spot. He shouldn't have been there. And under the bail, he's released, but under the bail conditions, he's not supposed to contact Kirsty. And this makes him very, very angry. And Emma Kenny on the show does say, to Miles, the rules don't apply to him. Bail conditions, you can't say it. That doesn't apply to him at all. He continues to bombard Kirsty with text messages, phone calls, flipping from nice to angry in seconds. And eventually she's so scared, and it's because he threatened to kill her family. And she's so scared, she agrees for him to see their daughter. And Jade, the younger sister, says that when he come round, she's quite scathing of him, she is. And she said when he come round, so he had no interest in his daughter, which is what I meant earlier. She said he didn't even know how to hold the baby. Look, her head was flopping. He didn't know. Considering he had two of the kids, she said his only interest was in Kirsty. And she did insinuate that he wanted, to be intimate with Kirsty. She's just had a baby. And that's what her sister says. She's just given birth to your child, and that's all that you're interested in. And his obsession completely grows now because he can see that she's got her support network back. She's got a baby to concentrate on, and he feels like he's losing control. This, like say, he's a narcissist, very controlling. This is his worst nightmare, which is why he got her away to the flat in the first place. He wanted to take her support network away. And slowly she's getting it back, and he can feel he's losing his grasp on her. And basically on New Year's Day 2012, it should have been a nice day. It should have been a good day. But Gemma, her old sister, said she went upstairs and she shared a bedroom with Kirsty. So Kirsty's phone was on her bed. And she noticed 86 missed calls from Miles. This was on New Year's Day. 86 calls, missed calls, sorry. Obsessed. She said she couldn't believe what her sister was having to put up with. Now, Kirsty was looking forward. She'd been offered a flat with the baby, probably to get away from Miles, so she had that to look forward to. And apparently, she did say, I've got this future, and he was begging her to come back to him. And, she can see how close she is to getting away. And, although she's got him in the background messaging, I think she was turning. She was definitely turning. She was starting to realise, I can get away. And with all these missed calls, this is still New Year's Day, with all these calls going unanswered, Miles in his flat is getting angrier and angrier as time goes on. And like I say, it's still New Year's Day, and Kirsty starts reflecting later on in the evening, and she says to her mum, these are quotes, it's been a shit year. And a mum, as any mum, would say, and I think everyone believes, she says next year's going to be better for you. Next year's your year. And Kirsty says, no, it's going to be even worse. I can feel it. I mean, how sad. How sad for this girl. She couldn't, although she had these things being offered to her, I think she knew he was never going to let her go. Even after such a short time, he was never going to let her go. And that night, Kirsty, Gemma, and the baby, they have an early night. Miles on the other end is all night drinking. Apparently a bottle of vodka. He was drinking, he was smoking, and he was, of course, texting her. And at 6:30, he sends her a text by saying, "Are you coming to see me today?" And she replies, "No." To which he put, "You're pissing me off." And she says, "I don't want to see you." And apparently it was that last text that just tipped him, with all the alcohol, the anger, the drugs, the fact that she's getting her support network back, he's losing control. It all just blew. And 1 hour later, at 7 o'clock in the morning, Dean, Kirsty's brother, he's a smash in the kitchen. Now, Dean slept on the ground floor, so he would have been the first to hear it. He heard this smash, and when he walks into the kitchen, he sees the kitchen windows broke, and he says it was about 7 o'clock in the morning, and he could hear footsteps going up the stairs. And what happened then was, it was, of course, Miles. He smashed into Gemma and Kirsty and the baby's room. And Gemma said she just seen him doing this to Kirsty and then turning to her. And it was only as he turned to her, she seen the shine of the blade, and realised that he was stabbing Kirsty and he was stabbing her. And she said she didn't even, she just tried to cover Kirsty. She tried to help Kirsty, because he turned back and obviously his anger was on Kirsty. And Dean, hearing this from downstairs, has run up with a bar, and he hit Miles over the head twice with this bar. But Miles had gone too far by then. It would have took 1,000 bars by the sounds of it to take him down. And he got up and he started stabbing Dean. And when Dean couldn't get up anymore, he turned back to the girls. They were obviously still on the bed. Gemma said she was trying to get up, she couldn't get up. Kirsty couldn't get up. They knew they had to get out, but they couldn't move. And Miles looks at Kirsty, goes for Kirsty again, saying, "Look at what you've made me do. You've made me do this." And starts to drag Kirsty out of the room. And Gemma's screaming. Now at this point, Kirsty must have looked like there was no fight in her, because Gemma said she was begging him, just leave her with us. No, please don't take her. And he went to turn back on Gemma. And basically, Kirsty sacrifices herself because she says, just let me go, to Gemma. And she gets dragged out. She gets dragged down the stairs. And at this point, Jade, obviously, again, hearing all the commotion, has come out. Apparently there was blood everywhere. And she goes to pull her back, and she says Kirsty was reaching out to her. But then she's seen a look in Kirsty's eyes that was basically saying, look, goodbye. It's a really sad story, this one is. And it's very sad to watch. If you want to watch it, it's on Britain's Darkest Taboos, like I say. It's a very wrenching story to watch from the family. I know they all are. I say this every time, but it's so upsetting because they're reliving it as they're telling the story, and it's just very sad. And Jade says, yeah, it looked like she was saying goodbye, and he dragged her into his mum's car. Now, Dean had stabbed 3 times. Gemma had been stabbed twice. Pam, the mum, who he's obviously bypassed her bedroom, has come out, and again, like Jade's in utter devastation in the house, and she's trying to piece together what's going on. She sees blood all over the baby, but the baby's okay. The baby was there in all of this. She sees Gemma's hurt. Then she goes to go outside looking for Kirsty and Dean. Dean's on the front doorstep, on the doorstep. She said looking past. She thought he was going to die, and she realises Kirsty's not there. And basically, Moles has driven 2 miles away. It's believed Kirsty was possibly dead by then. And he pulls up outside. I don't know if it was his flat or just a random block of flats. And he throws her behind the bins. Just throws her behind the bins. He could have let her at least, he knew he was going to kill her, so couldn't he have just let her die with her family? He threw her behind the bins, and that's when it is very upsetting on the show, because you hear them all saying, she was alone, it's cold. Her younger sister was saying, she had nothing on from the waist down, because she was in her pyjamas, an odd shirt. She just said she was alone, and you see that breaking each one of the hearts as they're saying it. He's very, very upsetting. And yeah, Kirsty actually had 29 stab wounds. 6 of them were fatal, but a lot of them were defence wounds, which Gemma says, she was constantly trying to fight him. She was constantly trying to get away and get in front of Gemma. And, right to the end, even when she was saying, please let me go, she was trying to save her family that he'd been threatening for so long, that he was going to hurt. And it was like I think for the baby as well, she was just doing everything she could to put it. So she had an awful lot of defence wounds. Now, Dean was in intensive care, her brother, and obviously he had to be told that Kirsty had died. And his guilt, even on the show, is just, you can feel it. You can feel this guilt. He's like, I should have got something heavier to hit him, should have hit him harder. You can't imagine how this family feels. The no guilt should be put at their door whatsoever. It's just such a sad story. It really is. And for the fact that they were together such a short amount of time, it's like, the Seth Jackson story is such a short amount of time, something that escalates so quickly. And Miles, after all this devastation he's caused, after throwing Kirsty beyond the bins, he goes and spends the night with another girl. Like nothing's happened. shows no remorse whatsoever. Utter disgrace. He's arrested and charged. He's charged with murder of Kirsty, attempted murder of Dean, and wounding with the intent of Gemma. And he pleads not guilty. He pleads self-defence. Absolute audacity. You know, and they say it was to put the family through more. You know, they had to go every day and relive this thing over and over and over again because he wanted his day in court. For what? And the trial was set for September 2012. And just putting him through a trial was just disgusting anyway. There was no defence of what he'd done at all. And in the doc, he still showed no remorse. He was putting a thumbs up to people up in the gallery, was smiling, you know, he was joking. Jade, who was only 16 at this point, she goes to give evidence in the doc. And bless her, I stressed her out that much. She had a panic attack in the doc. Dean, giving his evidence, Moles would cough every time Dean said his name, just trying to put him off or intimidate him or what it would do, just to make a joke of it. I don't know his point behind it, but they all followed through. You know, they were Kirsty's voice for this bloke who just took it away. Now Moles was convicted, found guilty on the 20th of November 2012. And he got 28 years. What do you think of that? 28 years. It sounds like a long time, but he'll only be 47 when he gets out. Still quite able to, you know, live a life, get on with things. You know, good behaviour, he'll be out sooner. You know, for murder, attempted murder and wounding with intent, destroying a family, leaving a child without her mum or her dad, but without her mum that loved her. She'll never get to know her. I don't know. I don't feel great about that. But it's like it says, the judges can only give out the sentences they're allowed, really. I do think something definitely needs to be done about the sentencing in this country. I do. For the crimes the stories I've told, the real life crimes that I've done, I just think the sentences are shocking, especially considering the family's been left completely devastated, completely destroyed. And like I say, a little girl who'll never know her mum, and they do say they'll show her pictures of her mum and she kisses her mum, you know, the picture goodnight every night, and you know, then the baby's name's not mentioned on the show. Obviously there's no photos, you know, they're keeping her completely out of it, which I think's fantastic and very good decision. And yeah, they're all going to bring up Kirsty's little girl, them, you know, together as a family, and they say that that's what holds them together and keeps them going every day. And you know, that's the only thing that came out of this, beautiful thing that came out of this, was Kirsty's daughter. You know, and it's just such a sad story. I really think it is. And I've just looked at the time, and I really wanted to make my stories a little bit shorter for you, because I do understand they're very long, and I've just realised I'm nearly at the 30 minutes again. I am trying to stop the rambling, I really am, but it's not that. There is a lot of information that has to be put across, because I don't want to tell a story that without all the right information. So yeah, there we go, we're at half an hour again. But thank you so much for joining me. I'm looking at another story to do for you that does look quite, but I'll tell you that next time. And yeah, again, thank you so much, and I will try and make the next one a lot sooner. Thank you. Bye bye.